With Dodge dominating the headlines all 2021, what is the deal with Ram? We know that the Hellcat engine will be gone in 2023, but what happens to the TRX? When will Ram move to the 6th gen? What's going to happen to the Ram's V8s? Last we officially heard from Ram was during EV Day back in July, where they really didn't show anything but basically a few slides and that was it. Crickets ever since. But what if I told you there's been some important information that Stellantis has shared during the 2 live streams? And since Ram doesn't want to say anything, let me paint a picture of what to expect from Ram in 2024 in this video. So enough with this fluff. Let's get to the stuff. There are 3 events that happened in 2021 to explore: Ram EV Day, Stellantis EV Day, and reaching Stellantis Software Day. These 3 events combined give us a good idea of what to expect from Ram in the next couple of years. Just from Ram's EV Day, they revealed that the next generation is coming in 2024 and will introduce a rebranded 4xe hybrid system. So let's get started with Ram's EV Day first. Ram really didn't reveal anything other than these slides for their portion of EV Day, but these slides lay out some interesting things, like improved NVH. Now, one of the main things about inline engines is that they are balanced and smooth. So that is our first clue that the GMET6 drivetrain will come to Ram and not transfer much vibration because it'll be missing the 5.7 V8 that we're used to seeing. But I still believe, like Ford, Ram will keep the 5.7 V8 around but charge a premium for you to get it. Ford, for example, has a few EcoBoost options and then charge extra for the V8 if you choose to go that route. The only thing we know for sure is that the line to make the 6.2 Hellcat engine will be gone in 2023, but nothing has been said about the 5.7 and the 392. Stellantis is not just going to flip a switch overnight and drop the V8s cold turkey. They may be crazy, but they're not stupid. Well, the jury's still out on that one. But the EPA had just passed new fuel economy standards that still turns a blind eye to pickup trucks. So I expect the 5.7 392 to stick around for a few more years, probably at least until 2025. And I say until 2025 because if you look at this slide that Ram provided, that's when they say they expect to have majority of their fleet electrified. If Ram takes a page out of Chevy's book, the GMET4 that's in the Wrangler 4xe could make an appearance. The current mod hybrid on the 3.6 Pentastar e-torque system has a horsepower rating of 305 and 269 pounds of torque, and can tow a maximum of 7,730 pounds. The Wrangler 4xe with its GMET4 that is an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine has 375 horsepower and 470 pounds of torque, but also has the benefit of going 21 miles of EV-only range. So the 4xe system has more power and torque than the Pentastar. Let me also add that Chevy Silverado with the inline 4 makes 310 horsepower, 348 pounds of torque, and can tow 9,300 pounds. So it sounds like the Pentastar days are numbered with Ram. Now the Wrangler 4xe system with the inline 4 engine will be the same exact system that's going to go over to the Grand Cherokee 4xe as well. Ram is going to rebrand a version of the 4xe system that's essentially a different version of the Pacifica hybrid system to this new version named REPB, which I hope it does not stick. I suspect they won't use the 4xe name because they may get rid of the transfer case in order to make rear-wheel drive hybrid Ram trucks. And a truck like a 2nd generation TRX will go back to using a 4xe style system. So it makes perfect sense going with the inline 4 from the Wrangler 4xe that'll make like a budget hybrid Ram truck and then step it up to a vehicle like the TRX going to the GMET6 engine for that version of the 4xe system. Based on the timeline Dodge has set for the Hellcat engine, the TRX technically has one more final model year left before Dodge will shut down the 6.2 Hellcat production line. I'll talk about the TRX more in a separate video, but the 2023 model year looks like to be the last with a Hellcat engine for the TRX. Now, as far as the GMET6 engine is concerned, if I use the BMW's 500 horsepower inline 6 engine as an example, add the 178 horsepower from the 4xe's 2 electric motors, we could probably see a 2024 TRX with at least 675 horsepower in a hybrid setup. Now, to give a comparison, a 695 horsepower Porsche Panamera hybrid can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which would be a significant improvement to the current TRX. Now, the best guess to see this next performance drivetrain for the TRX will be in the next generation Trackhawk. Now, Jeep has already announced a Grand Cherokee 4xe with the Wrangler's inline 4, so it'll be interesting to see if a Trackhawk will make a return with a GMET6. Now, Ralph Giles did say he was testing an experimental drivetrain in the Grand Cherokee, but it was not the 4xe because that engine was already in development for a Wrangler.
Powertrain is experimental. I can't talk about it.
You can't talk about it. What's it in?
Normal. It's in a Cherokee, but it's got a new advanced powertrain I'm testing out.
Oh, cool.
But the only new engine we know that's coming is the GMET6. But if not in a new Trackhawk, the next best guess would be in a Grand Wagoneer. Now, Jeep announced that a Grand Wagoneer 4xe is coming, but it did not state whether it would use the inline 4 engine from the Wrangler or use a different engine. And this is why I say the Grand Wagoneer is what you can look out for to see whether or not the GMET6 pops up in there. Just saying. Now, the Stellantis EV Day actually showed 2 trucks that Ram for some reason wouldn't show during their EV summit. We got to first look at the EV Ram and a refreshed 6th Gen 1500. Now, I've made comparisons in previous videos that Ram will essentially make the 6th Gen 1500 and the heavy-duty trucks look closer together. You'll see the notch at the top of the grille carry over, similar headlight design, lower grille tow hooks. Compare that to the current heavy-duty trucks. You'll see the lower grille is different and the bumper dips down compared to the current models where the bumper is extended upwards to make a smaller grille. But most likely the 1500s will get a bigger grille design because the GMET6 engine is a twin turbo base and may require additional airflow. The 6th gen design will basically be a mid-cycle refresh compared to a brand new truck. It'll have to stay similar to the Grand Wagoneer since it shares the same frame. Using the same frame will allow them to share parts, like Stellantis has said time and time again that it will do to cut costs. The main difference with the frame is in the rear because the Wagoneer uses independent rear suspension, but that doesn't matter because that is also going to come to Ram as well. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the lower control arm on the back of this EV truck that Ralph Giles showed. Doesn't that look exactly like the lower control arm on a Grand Wagoneer and the mules running around? Makes perfect sense for Ram and Jeep to use the same Ram 1500 test mule to test 2 different vehicles to lower development costs, just like what Ralph just said.
As well as a new mid-sized truck. Now we're working on these vehicles together, which allows us to share some of the most costly components in a way never before done.
Just saying. So we went over the engine, we went over the body. Now let's go to finally the technology. If you looked at my Jeep EV Day video, some tech that's coming to the Wrangler 2024 will probably wind up in a TRX as well, being an off-road based vehicle. Prime example is going to be the onboard air system that's going to allow you to inflate and deflate tires from within the vehicle. Now, another feature that's coming is biometric security, which I hope is going to stop all these people from stealing Stellantis-based vehicles. Now, Stellantis recently did a software day where they talked about some of the things coming to Ram.
For our Ram pickup owners, customers can increase the capability of their truck to handle greater loads.
Now, I had to think about this. How can you increase your load capacity through software? And the one thing that came to mind is they're going to use air shocks, because Bilstein already makes special shocks for the TRX. So why not go to Bilstein again and have to make a brand new shock for them? Remember how I said earlier that the Wrangler is getting onboard air? That seems like the perfect system to combine with this air shock to adjust your truck's load capacity at the touch of a button. Some of the other tech coming is a new built-in Fire TV that will be tied into an entertainment package. I'm going to cover more in depth about software day in another video, but Stellantis is shifting its business model to a subscription-based model. They want to be able to charge you for services like partnerships with Amazon streaming. And don't think it was a coincidence that Dodge selected Amazon for Operation 25/8 for the help give away cars. Other subscriptions like satellite radio, Wi-Fi, self-driving, apparently payload adjustment, all this after you've already purchased your vehicle. The Stellantis CEO has said that new electrified cars are going to be 50% more expensive, and it's hard for them to pass that cost on to customers. And one of the ways they're going to do that is to charge you for subscriptions or additional fees after you purchase your vehicle to help them recoup their costs. Stellantis expects to put out 26 million connected vehicles in 2026, and by 2030, they expect to get 20 billion euros in extra capital for the extra tech that they pack in all their vehicles, including your Ram 1500. Earlier in 2021, Stellantis formed a partnership with Foxconn for the following services that you can expect: an AI digital cockpit, over-the-air monitoring, biometric recognition, smart infotainment, and other features already included, but turned off until you subscribe for it. Now, if I take GM Super Cruise system, for example, customers now have to pay $25 a month for hands-free driving, but there is a lot more connected services that can jack that monthly price up. Just saying. And that's it for this video, guys. A refreshed Ram 1500 coming in 2024, along with the 4xe system. Now, the Ram EV and the 2nd generation TRX, I'll cover those in separate videos. But what do you guys think about the Rams that are coming in 2024? I expect the 4x system and the Wrangler to come over to make a budget Ram 1500 and then step up to this new GMET6 engine for the second generation TRX to get us around the 675, 7 horsepower ballpark with hybrid assistance. Now, independent rear suspension is coming, but the question is, will it be by default or just reserved for the EV? Ram has yet to announce anything and won't even confirm the future of the TRX, just like Jeep didn't mention anything about the Trackhawk disappearing. But once I get more information from sources that I know, I'll be sure to make another video. But if you found this video helpful, give it a like to help it out and consider subscribing to the channel. I got a lot of information to dissect over the next few weeks and you don't want to miss anything. So until the next video, I'm out.